Welcome back. This is a nice mobility flow movement block where you can do this before or after your workout. So you can follow along here, and I will have some different options. Also, keep in mind if you're doing this as a warm-up, gradually work into those exercises before you get full on into your workout. And then if this is your cool down, make sure to do some nice static stretching after as well. But these are some dynamic movements to get some blood flow, maybe a nice little recovery day for you. And again, stay tuned for the options as well. All right, so let's just start with some arm circles, some big movements, and really focus in on your breath throughout this movement flow. So think about those big inhales. I did switch directions there. If you didn't notice, so switch directions. Big breaths into the nose. Really feel that belly fill with new oxygen. And then slowly, we're going to take a little rotation here. Let the arms kind of relax and flow how they want to. Notice how I am pivoting slightly with my feet to get that movement. Whatever feels kind of natural for you here. Good, we're going to do some hip openers next. So think big step out, big step in. Now maybe you just worked out and you're feeling really tired and you'd rather do some seated things. You can be on the ground here with some wide stance. We're going to drop those knees to the side. Think 90 degrees at the knees, and that knee and heel should be almost lined up, but our body is going to stay in the center here. And just dropping side to side. Try to keep the sit bones where they are and the heels where they are, so we're not moving around too much. We're just shifting side to side, opening up those hips a little bit. Staying nice and tall to get those breaths. Again, if we're in that standing part still, we're going to take it to a wide stance. So much wider than your shoulders here. And all we want to do is shift. As we shift to one side, the other leg stays straight. So from that side point here, I'm just pushing my hips back, almost like I'm kind of sitting into it here. Whatever range of motion feels good. You're really going to feel that inner thigh, that adductor. Now we can take this to the ground. If that lunging motion doesn't feel so nice, we can take it. We're going to be half kneeling, so on one leg, that leg out as far as possible, and we're going to take it into a tabletop position. So we want our hips to be stacked over the knee, and we're just going to gently sit back into that heel. You're going to feel that stretch on the inner thigh here. Deep breath in, exhale, gently sitting into that stretch. Again, just gently shifting, and you might feel that start to loosen up. So we'll switch sides. Again, you can do this standing or kneeling, whatever option feels better for you. And just gently, whatever range of motion feels good. And you can even turn up that toe to get a little more hamstring. Back of the legs, wherever you feel more tight. And feel free to kind of start with one and gradually shift into that other movement. Again, going at your own pace, feeling out your body here, what's tight on you. So either standing or kneeling on that side. side, getting that inner thigh. If we were doing the standing option here, that rotation of the foot still applies. So we can get a little more hamstring back of the leg by turning up that toe as we shift, making sure we're still keeping that weight back as we're shifting. Next one, we're going to take it into a wide lunge, T-spine twist. So think high plank position here to start. Stepping wide so our heel stays down, and we're going to twist towards this front leg, reaching up, and we're just going to alternate side to side, big twist. As you're twisting, you might feel more glutes. That hip is really opening up, and we're just going to keep stepping and twisting. There's an inclined option here as well, so if getting right to the ground is a little challenging, we can take it up to a stair or a bench or anything here where we step, kind of lunge into that step, and we're still going to add that twist. Switching sides. I'm a little awkward on an angle, but normally you would be facing forward directly onto that bench. Twist. Again, whatever range of motion, but really feel those hips sit into it and then twist. So we're getting glutes, hips, legs, torso, chest, shoulders. This is a really nice movement, a nice flow, and just gentle movements as we go here. Keeping that breathing as you're alternating. Really feel everything start to loosen up here. Good. Now we're really going to open up the body a little more. We're going to keep a slightly wide stance here, and I want you to twist and reach. So we're opening up that body. We're going to bend at the hips and twist, which means we're going to get some inner thigh, maybe some glute, maybe some back. You could feel a lot of things here, and that's okay. So big twist and reach. Deep breath in. Exhale. Again, whatever range of motion works best for you here. Maybe we're just gently twisting and bending. And it's okay to soften the knees a little bit on that bend as we come down. If going straight out feels like a little too much on those hamstrings, keep a soft bend. That's okay too. Now, of course, if you're looking to deepen that stretch, with every exhale, get a little deeper, a little bigger in that twist. And think about looking up to the sky, that arm up here as you're twisting. Maybe that up and down motion isn't so nice. So what we can do is go sideways on the wall. So our shoulders up against, our other foot is here. Hands start together against the wall. Deep breath in. Exhale. We're going to twist and open up. Obviously, we're not going to get the glutes, hamstrings, and inner thighs on this one, but we are going to get that twisting and that big motion. So just nice and gentle, and see if we can get a little bigger every time. Switching sides if you're here. Again, deep breath, big twist. Think about opening up that chest as we reach and twisting through the torso as well. Nice big movements here. Again, use that breath. Next one, we're going to go against the wall here. And you can do this without the wall, that's okay. And we're just going to slide those arms up and bring it back down. Think about opening up the chest and shoulders, reaching it up nice and high, taking it back down. Trying to keep those elbows and hands against the wall as well as the shoulders and back as best as you can. Keep that neutral spine. So without that wall, we're just opening up as much as we can, reaching up as high as we can. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale. Exhale. We can add another movement to this as well, that hip hinge. So pushing the hips back, getting a little stretch in those hamstrings and glutes, squeezing the shoulder blades, but reaching up tall, bringing it back down and up. So adding that extra move. Reaching it up and then driving those hips. So this is a bigger movement as well. Again, move with the body, do what feels good. This is all about just getting big movements and letting that breath relax those muscles. Next one, we do want to take it to an elevated surface here. So if you don't have an elevated surface, then we're going to take it down to a kneeling position. We're going to start 90 degrees here, but slightly shifted forward in the hips. And we're going to keep that heel planted. We want to just push that knee forward as far as we can in that kneeling position. The idea is to actually feel a little stretch in the calves here, but you might also feel that hip flexor in the back leg, because noticing starting at 90, I'm already slightly shifted forward. Now, if that range of motion is too much, bring it forward, that's okay. And just start a little smaller, but you can always increase that range of motion by stepping forward more. And again, the goal here is to try to get that knee as far over the toe as possible. As long as your heel is down, we're good. Now, stepping that foot forward more is going to get a little more hip flexor stretch in that back leg. So if we're on that elevated surface, same thing, think 90 degrees to start, and we're just going to shift forward. Don't worry about that back leg, let it do whatever it wants. As long as this heel stays down, and we're trying to feel that stretch more in that Achilles area, that soleus lower calf, and then a little bit in the upper calf. But if we're starting closer and we're focusing more on stretching the calf, then that's what we want to focus on here. Now you can shift that, stepping forward more to get bigger motion, bigger stance here, so you get more of a stretch in the hip flexor. Now when we're doing this, think about dropping the hips and slightly leaning back to get a little more hip flexor. Deep breath, exhale. Now if you want to get a little more quad stretch, the thigh here, then we're actually going to bend the knee. You will feel that hip flexor stretch still, most likely if you're tight. So again, we're starting with that stance, 90 degrees, standing over this foot, shifting. You're gonna feel a lot more calf. Taking that little step if you wanna deepen that movement. And the bigger the step, the more you're gonna get into that back leg stretching. Getting that hip flexor, that quad. And again, shifting